What's up guys, we're doing a huge giveaway. We'll be giving away random prizes in random TPS videos. It could be anything, gift cards, PlayStations, $500. I mean hell, you might even get a new car, who knows. All you have to do is tune into TPS to find out. Again, it will be totally random which videos we'll be doing giveaways in and what the prizes will be. So tune in to find out. Then follow the directions we give you in those videos with the giveaway in order to qualify. Hopefully you'll be rolling away in a BMW. Good luck TPSers. What's up guys, as you all know, the NFL draft is over, and it's time to start shifting our focus towards the upcoming 2019 season. All 32 teams have their coaches set now. 24 return to their normal gigs, while 8 head coaches will be starting fresh with new teams. Now is a fun time to look at how all of these sideline roamers stack up against each other. Y'all know who's going to number 1, but the other 31 are a mystery, so let's get to it. I'm Biondo, and today we present our rankings for all 32 NFL head coaches from worst to first. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. Every day. And a big shout out to Ham the Great for suggesting this video. That is a dope name. I'm actually jealous of it and I wish I thought of that myself. Number 32, Cliff Kingsbury. Nothing against Kingsbury, but the man hasn't coached in the NFL yet. Rather, all of his previous coaching experience was in college. So can Kingsbury succeed at the NFL level? Nick Saban and Chip Kelly are prime examples of how college success doesn't mean you're a good fit for the NFL. But who knows? Maybe he'll move way up these rankings in a year's time. Number 31, Jay Gruden. Nothing against Gruden. He's done all he could to win on a very bad team with questionable ownership and horrible management. Jay Gruden's Washington Redskins have only made the playoffs once since he was hired in 2014. That's not good enough, and any other owner would have canned him by now. 2019 is probably Gruden's last chance in DC. Good luck, Jay. Number 30, Pat Shurmur. This ranking may seem harsh to some, it's just Pat Shurmur is better off as a coordinator than a head coach. He went just 9-23 as head coach of the Cleveland Browns over the 2011 and 2012 seasons. He did nothing to fix a talented New York Giants team in 2018. They went a woeful 5-11, despite big years from Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley. Some were surprised that Shurmur got another chance in 2019, but we'll see if it works out. Number 29, Zach Taylor. The Cincinnati Bengals only took, say, 10 years too long to make a coaching change, but Marvin Lewis was finally let go and replaced by Zach Taylor, who was the Los Angeles Rams quarterbacks coach. Taylor has spent time in both college and the NFL, also working with the Miami Dolphins, Texas A&M, and the University of Cincinnati. What he did to turn Jared Goff into a star quarterback cannot be ignored. He'll have his hands full in Cincy, but Taylor should have fun trying to follow in Sean McVay's footsteps as a young head coach. Number 28, Brian Flores. After spending 15 seasons with the New England Patriots organization, Flores joins the AFC East rival Miami Dolphins, who are just beginning a lengthy rebuild. Flores started out with the Pats as a scouting assistant in 2004, before moving his way up to safeties and later linebackers coach. Flores was also the Patriots defensive play caller after Matt Patricia left for the Detroit Lions in 2018. Flores was on staff for the Pats' 4 most recent Super Bowl championships, so he does bring plenty of winning experience. That's why he ranks ahead of some of the other newbies on this list. Number 27, Matt Patricia. Well, Patricia's first year as head coach with the Lions didn't go so well, after recording winning seasons in 3 of the previous 4 years. One former Lion claimed that Patricia was often late to meetings, and well, Matthew Stafford took quite a step back in his first year with Patricia. We'll give him time, but so far the Patricia hiring has not paid off in Motown. Number 26, Matt LaFleur. This hire surprised a ton of people. The Green Bay Packers fired Mike McCarthy near the end of the dismal 2018 season and replaced him with a younger Matt LaFleur, who was previously the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. He was also the quarterbacks coach for Matt Ryan during his MVP season in Atlanta. The Packers obviously love LaFleur and think he can help Aaron Rodgers return to an MVP form, but we gotta see the results before we place him any higher. Number 25, Vic Fangio. The Dunmore, Pennsylvania native landed his first NFL gig with the New Orleans Saints back in 1986. Over 3 decades later, Fangio finally has his first head coaching job. The Denver Broncos hired the defensive guru after firing Vance Joseph. Fangio was the Chicago Bears defensive coordinator from 2015 to 18, finishing with the league's best scoring defense in the final year. We don't doubt Fangio's ability to turn Denver's defensive back into one of the NFL's best, with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb leading the way. But can he rebuild this long struggling offense into a relevant unit? That remains to be seen. Number 24, Freddie Kitchens. The Cleveland Browns promoted Kitchens from offensive coordinator to head coach this offseason after he helped unleash Baker Mayfield during his 2018 rookie campaign. Suddenly, the Browns look like Super Bowl contenders heading into 2019. But until Kitchens proves his worth by making the most of this talented roster, he's still only the 24th best head coach in our eyes. Number 23, Adam Gase. Hard to judge Adam Gase's tenure as head coach of the Miami Dolphins for 3 years. He did take a mediocre team without Ryan Tannehill in the final stretch to the playoffs in 2016. Gase could only do so much with a very flawed Miami team before getting fired after the 2018 season. Well, Gase might be a better fit here for the New York Jets. He gets to work with Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell, which is a huge upgrade over what he had in Miami. So, let's go Jets. Number 22, Kyle Shanahan. The 49ers have gone just 10-22 with Kyle Shanahan through 2 seasons. But we have to focus on the positives. For example, Jimmy Garoppolo already looks like a legitimate franchise quarterback. George Kittle had the greatest single season for a tight end in NFL history as well. Shanahan came to San Fran as head coach in 2017, and we all knew it would be a rebuilding process. But Shanahan, one of the game's best offensive minds for a while now, has to start winning in 2019. It is as simple as that. Number 21, Sean McDermott. Well, he did end the Buffalo Bills' 18-year playoff drought in year 1 as head coach. But then Sean McDermott's team regressed quite a bit in 2018. To his credit, McDermott quickly built up one of the NFL's elite defensive units, and rookie QB Josh Allen dazzled at times behind a terrible offensive line. We do like where the Bills are going, and McDermott seems like the right man in charge. But he's not quite ready for prime time, nor a high spot on our list. Number 20, John Gruden. He revived the Oakland Raiders franchise in his first go-around as head coach. Then he led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl 37 championship. That early success is why we put Gruden a little higher on this list. Gruden's first year back in Oakland was nothing more than a tank job. But with bundles of young talent and Antonio Brown now on the way, Gruden will need to take leaps in 2020 and 2021 to prove he's worth that $100 million contract. So we'll see where it goes. Number 19, Bill O'Brien. You might be impressed with Bill O'Brien's 3 AFC South Division titles and 4 winning seasons through 2018. We're not though. O'Brien only has 1 playoff win, and that's against the Connor Cook-led Oakland Raiders. It took O'Brien 4 years to finally run a decent offense, led by Deshaun Watson. As for the defense, J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney will take the credit. A 42-38 record isn't that great, especially for a coach with all this talent to work with. Harsh as it may be, we can't put O'Brien in the top half. Sorry. Number 18, Jason Garrett. We're actually very surprised that Garrett has lasted this long. Sure, the Cowboys have won 3 NFC East Division titles, but Garrett only has 2 playoff wins since 2011. That's just not good enough for America's team. Garrett's play calling has been a huge question mark for years, especially on offense. We think the Cowboys will win in spite of Garrett, not because of him. Number 17, Mike Vrabel. If Marcus Mariota was healthy for all of 2018, then the Titans were probably going to the playoffs. In his first year as head coach, Mike Vrabel had far more positives than negatives. Mariota, Corey Davis, and Derrick Henry all took leaps, and the Titans also finished 3rd in scoring defense. In short, we love what Vrabel did in Tennessee. He's got a talented young team to work with and should move further up this list in the coming years. Number 16, Doug Marrone. Hard to judge Doug Marrone. He's had 4 full seasons as head coach. 2 with the Bills and 2 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had 1 winning and 1 losing season with each. He did take the Jaguars to the 2017 AFC Championship game. Then they finished last in the AFC South with a 5-11 record the following year. Well, Marrone is one of the better defensive-minded head coaches in the NFL. Now he has Nick Foles to work with on offense, so no more excuses. Number 15, Anthony Lynn. Not too much to complain about for Lynn, who's been a huge success through his first 2 years as an NFL head coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. They won 9 games in his first year and only missed out on the postseason via tiebreaker. Lynn turned the Chargers back into a Super Bowl contender in 2018. They went 12-4 and reached the AFC divisional round. Impressive, but we'd like to see him win a Lombardi Trophy with this talented squad. Number 14, Dan Quinn. Quinn has gone 36-28 through 4 years as head coach, but only 2 playoff berths to show for it. We can't forget that meltdown in 2015 after a 5-0 start where the Falcons only won 3 of their final 11 games to to finish 8-8. Quinn will always take some blame for the collapse in Super Bowl 51. But hey, he did take them to the playoffs twice. And though excuses are pretty lame, he can only do so much without key players for a large portion of 2018. Number 13, Frank Reich. Life's pretty good for this guy. He was offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl 52 champion Philadelphia Eagles, then became head coach of the Indianapolis Colts after Josh McDaniels backed out of the job at the last minute. All he did was turn a losing Colts team into a playoff squad in year one. He had to take over one of the league's worst offensive lines, and they only yielded the fewest sacks in the NFL with 18. Darius Leonard won Defensive Rookie of the Year, the Colts won a playoff game and got to the AFC divisional round. Andrew Luck became an MVP candidate again. He will most likely find himself in the top 10 by 2020. We're just a bit hesitant to put him higher after 1 year. Number 12, Matt Nagy. We love what we saw from first-year head coach Matt Nagy, but just like the last guy, it's too early to put him in the top 10. Nagy had lots of fun running the league's best scoring defense in 2018. He also made the most of a talented offensive unit led by Mitch Trubisky, Tariq Cohen, Allen Robinson, and Trey Burton. The Bears won 12 games and took the NFC North crown. The future has never been brighter for this franchise. Nagy and the Bears will win a lot of games for years to come. Number 11, Ron Rivera. The good has outweighed the bad for Riverboat Ron. This is a man who has registered a 71, 56, and 1 record through 8 years. It includes 3 NFC South Division titles, 4 playoff berths, and a trip to Super Bowl 50. It's quite impressive. Rivera has overseen the development of Cam Newton, who has become one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. Carolina has been quite stingy defensively under Rivera as well. His resume is solid, but it's just not enough to get him in the top 10. Sorry, Ron. Number 10, Mike Zimmer. The Minnesota Vikings haven't been able to get over the playoff hump yet, but Mike Zimmer has gone a respectable 47, 32, and 1 as head coach. That includes a trip to the NFC Championship game in 2017, with Case Keenum as his QB. Don't blame Zimmer entirely for not having a good QB to work with, but that defense is always a top 5 unit. The Vikings are making the right call by holding on to him. His record speaks for itself. Number 9, Bruce Arians. We don't know how Arians will fare with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers yet. This is not the same teams in terms of talent that he had in Arizona. That's why we're a bit hesitant to put him here. And of course, his last 2 years in Arizona were quite forgettable. That said, Arians is one of the best quarterback gurus in the NFL, so Bucs fans should have faith in his ability to turn Jameis Winston around. Not only that, but Arians should be able to restore relevance to a defense that's talented but consistently awful. Number 8, Doug Peterson. Peterson won Super Bowl 52 in his 2nd year as head coach, especially with a backup quarterback in Nick Foles. So yeah, he's pretty good. He's one of the best offensive coaches to come around in years. Not only that, but Peterson is the ultimate player coach. He totally changed the culture in Philly after Chip Kelly's forgettable tenure. So good for you, Doug. Looking forward to the future. Number 7, Mike Tomlin. Tomlin would usually be in the top 5, but after the disastrous 2018 season, we had to move him back a bit. Tomlin lost control of his locker room last season. What can we say? But he's had 0 losing seasons, 1 Super Bowl championship, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 8 playoff seasons. And that 125, 66, and 1 record says it all. Number 6, Sean McVay. Relax, Rams fans. I know you're upset. It's still too early to put him in the top 5 after just 2 years. When Belichick retires, McVay could end up becoming the new number 1 head coach in the NFL. But let's be patient with him here. McVay has guided the Rams to consecutive division titles, and of course a Super Bowl 53 appearance. His work is so freaking impressive that it's forced other teams to desperately scramble, hoping to find the next great young head coach. I think that's why so many teams are hiring younger coaches, because of this guy. McVay has turned Jared Goff into an MVP caliber quarterback. The Rams are primed to win over the next decade, and it's all thanks to McVay. Like, have you seen him in post-game talks? Like, he just knows literally everything that is going on and it happens, and he remembers it. Like, he's got like a photographic memory for football. Like, this guy's nuts. Number 5, John Harbaugh. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens were kind of smart in keeping him around. He's 104-72 as head coach. He led the Ravens to a Super Bowl 47 championship. They've only had 1 losing season under him. He's 10-6 in the playoffs. The Ravens have reached 3 AFC title games as well. Baltimore consistently has one of the league's best defenses, and their offense will only get better under Lamar Jackson. Now, if their coach can only just add some more Lombardi trophies. Just an idea. Number 4, Andy Reid. His tenure in Philly had everything except a Super Bowl ring. Reid won 130 games in 14 years as Eagles head coach. He led them to 5 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl 39 appearance. But Reid has only added to his legacy since coming to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs haven't had a losing year under Reid. They've made the playoffs 5 times, have won 3 straight AFC West Division titles, and reached the 2018 AFC Championship game. The knock against Reid is just lack of playoff success. But with Mahomes leading the way, it only feels like a matter of time until Reid's Chiefs win a Super Bowl, or 2, or 3, or 10. Who knows? Number 3, Pete Carroll. 2018 marked Carroll's 9th year as head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He's recorded 7 winning seasons and as many playoff berths. The Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 and were 1 yard away from winning a second the following year. And we all know what happened. At any rate, Carroll deserves plenty of credit for keeping Seattle on a winning track. Even with the Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch gone, Carroll keeps on winning in Seattle. That's just what a great coach does. Number 2, Sean Payton. If there was no Minneapolis Miracle, nor a brutal missed penalty call in the 2018 NFC Championship game, Sean Payton probably has at least 2 Super Bowl rings by now. Who knows, maybe even 3. Payton is one of the most brilliant offensive-minded head coaches to come around. Through 12 seasons on the job, he guided the Saints to 7 playoff berths, a Super Bowl 44 championship, and 3 NFC title game appearances. With Breeze, Payton helped revive a long-struggling franchise. It's safe to say that he'll be able to coach the Saints for as long as he wants, perhaps the next 10 years even. Number 1, Bill Belichick. There are only 3 possible ways for Belichick to lose the number 1 spot. Number 1, he retires. Duh. Number 2, he coaches the Patriots to 20 straight losing non-playoff seasons. Not gonna happen. Number 3, another coach guides his team to 6 or more Super Bowl titles. In other words, it's not happening. You can easily make a case that Belichick is the greatest head coach of all time, for any sport. The Pats have won the AFC East every year since 2009. Belichick has guided them to 9 Super Bowl appearances, winning 6 of them. Yeah, this one was obvious. The NFL is Bill Belichick's world, and the other 31 head coaches are just living in it. What changes would you make to our rankings here? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week, and they're really entertaining, so if you want more of me, you should go there. I hang out and do really funny things. Go check it out. Subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. If you want sports content every day, subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click. We really appreciate it. Can you just do that for us? Just like it. I really would like for you to like it. Please? Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo, and my name.